Thanks for joining, guys. Let me just get right to it. So really what I want this to be is a genuine, unscripted vlog detailing, my journey, this goal that I've set for myself, and we'll see. It's a pretty insane idea, but I'm gonna see if I can go from, starting out as a DJ, eventually become a nightclub owner, a theater, or something big like that. I really just want to start a movement that's based around a love of music, specifically EDM music, and just loving life, partying, working out, spending time with your friends and family, just rocking out to music, dancing. I really, to me, I think that music is about sharing experiences with each other and enhancing life. Music just has that ability that it can, change any sort of situation or any sort of gathering. I mean, think, you go to, let's say it's some holiday party and, there's no music going on, everybody's just socializing and eating some snacks and stuff. People are talking, having a good time, but you have some great music going on in the background, it completely changes the atmosphere. And, especially these days, we all know this, where, we always want to be distracted or be stimulated by something. And I'm speaking for myself as well. I have a tendency that no matter what I'm doing or where I am, like, instead of sitting in the silence, which I do enjoy my own silence sometimes, especially having 2 children, but I find myself always looking for music and listening to it no matter where I am. Really, I think what's important to the story is to just, start from the beginning. And I'm trying to be a DJ right now. I'm just kind of going by like a tag name. I like a lot more. I just want a lot more music and a lot more fun and partying. So we'll see where this journey takes me. But, as far as the beginning goes, I was raised by a good family, loving mother and father, and our family had struggles just about like any other family. And from a very early age, I found myself always drawn to music. I think that the very first CD that my mom got me, we lived in Tennessee at the time. It was Chattanooga, and the school that I went to was, I think, Eastridge Elementary, and they got me a CD that was Smash Mouth or something like that. And so that was like my very first CD. This was like right after Shrek came out. And actually the earliest memory that I have is like an old SimCity game. I think it's called Village Theme, and it's one of the old SimCity games. And that's one of the oldest memories I have as far as music goes. I think I might have been 4 or 5 years old, around kindergarten age, when I heard that song and that game. So, but music has just always spoken to me in a way that can't quite explain. But it's just such a part of me, and my love for it is so deep. And ever since I was a child, I've been searching for more music. And maybe it did start with that city, maybe it started with buying the CD, or maybe it's just who I am. But I was always drawn to music, and as I got older, started to listen to varying types of music. And eventually I remember I was listening to Eminem. I bought one of his CDs, Slim Shady album, I think it was, in the early 2000s. And then the emo scene and that emo rock music started to come out in the early 2000s. And, me loving music, I was very drawn to that. In my younger days, I wasn't very much involved with too much electronic music. There was some, whether it's an OST or there was some electronica type music that I did listen to, instrumentals, but I did not really have an understanding of, I never listened to any UK dubstep at that time, trance music and stuff. My electronic experience was very minimal, but I got heavily immersed into the emo rock culture. And so, some of I got into the heavy metal and stuff, but to this day, some of the bands that I love, Dance, Gavin Dance, Hawthorne Heights, Senses Fail, Taking Back Sunday, Blink-182, some heavy metal like All Shall Perish, Five Finger Death Punch. Like at the moment, my all-time favorite emo song from the early 2000s would be something like The Quiet Things That No One Ever Knows by Brand New. Still listen to that song to this day. I went through a phase where I was really into Korn, Gorillaz, Coldplay, U2. I also got really into Tool, and then I did like that kind of music, like Three Doors Down. I listened to Sugar Ray. Anyways, so why did I decide to become a DJ? Well, it's because I have over 20 years of experience searching for music, finding music, listening to it, developing an ear to find unique music and good music, and building these playlists and then sharing music with other people. I've been doing that my entire life. And looking around trying to figure out, what am I going to do with my life and what am I going to do as a career? And so I just never saw what was like right in front of me, that this could be an opportunity that I could potentially have some skill at and some success at, and it's something that I love. Music is something that I love pretty much more than anything. Really, this idea to become a DJ and own a club and share music with people is really just doing something that I have been doing my whole life ever since I was a kid. I hear a song and I would become obsessed with it, listen to it over and over. I got to show it to my brother. I got to show it to everybody that I know. And, not everybody likes the same type of music. So then maybe I'm trying to find out what type of music they like. And, so there's different people, friends and family in my life that I know what type of music they like. And so when I come across new songs, I'll show it to them and, to see what their opinion is on. This is something that I've always done, and being a DJ is really just taking that to the next level. Eventually one day I may become a producer and be able to produce my own music. But right now I'm hoping that money that I could possibly earn from being a DJ, that would make it so that I could one day have time to produce music. So DJing is really just taking my experience and my love of music to the next level and trying to make a career out of it. Because if I could share music and curate music, throw parties, DJ, eventually create my own music and share it with the world, to me, that is the most fulfilling thing that I could do with my life. And yeah, it scares the hell out of me. But, thinking of crowds just going wild for the music and the parties, and it gives me adrenaline, and I'm afraid to do it, but at the same time I feel like I have to do this. I have to try it. Ever since I started DJing, I've never experienced anything like this in my life, and I know it's going to be hard, and there's a lot of DJs out there, plenty of them, so much better than me, of course. But I think that I have something that I can add to the industry, my passion and my ear for unique music. One day when I'm able to produce, I hope that it speaks to people in a way that moves them, and music that could be, remembered and makes people happy. So, but that's far off in the future. Right now, I just want to focus on one step at a time. So, get back to my life story. As I said, I was really involved with rock music and emo scene, and this eventually kind of led to a route in my life where, and I'll come back to this, I'll circle back later, but fitness plays a really important role in my story. I've been working out for almost 3 years now. You can tell, changed my life a little bit. Yeah, hey, I put a lot of work into it, so I'm not afraid to show it off, but, it's nice to go to the gym. It makes you feel better. It changes your life. Going to the gym changed my life. But in the 9th grade, I started to do wrestling, and this is where I was introduced really to fitness. Started going to the gym a little bit. Didn't have an understanding or a trainer. I think I only gave wrestling, I think it was just a couple of months. Really just the training part before I even did any matches, and just didn't put the kind of effort that I should have, and didn't take it seriously. And I went down the route, instead of sports and fitness, and potentially music. I never explored that either. Instead of going down that route, I went down the route that I think too many of us these days go down, and then that's the route of drugs and alcohol. And that consumed my life for over 10 years. I started when I was 14 years old, drinking and then smoking pot. As I got into my later teens, I did more drugs and got into trouble with the law. I went to jail, and I did have to go to rehab as well. I first went to rehab when I was 23 years old, and that was in Southern California, and that really completely changed my life. Once that happened, I was reunited with music. As a lot of the young guys that I spent time with around rehab, of course, a lot of guys partied and stuff too, and so started to get back involved into electronic dance music. And this was, not that long ago, 2015. So this is around the 2014, 2015 is around the years that I went to rehab. But this was big years in, dubstep and EDM music in general. And so I was a little bit late to the game. I wasn't listening. I heard Skrillex, I think, for the first time, maybe in 2011 or 2012. I first heard Skrillex. My brother showed me. But I didn't mess around with any dubstep after that until 2014, 2015. Then I really started. And Skrillex, to me at the time, it was kind of like a joke, and I think that's how dubstep and Skrillex was viewed by a lot of people at the time, that it was like a joke or a meme. And so I didn't take it seriously, and it was kind of a cool music video to show other people. And so let's just say I found Skrillex amusing, but he didn't completely sell me on the dubstep idea. Fast forward to 2014, then I started to listen to the UK dubstep, some of the melodic type dubstep, and not as much of the crazy bro step that was coming out of Skrillex. I did eventually get onto that stuff, and I don't have a problem with it. I think bro step has its place. All the different musics has its place. As you'll find out with me, hardstyle music's my favorite right now. Nothing speaks to me quite the same as hardstyle. So I developed a love for dubstep in 2014, 2015. I had a playlist on SoundCloud that was like a UK dubstep playlist. I had a few hundred songs on there. And I just went wild listening to, everything that I could. I don't know all the artists off the top of my head, but, of course, all the ones that we've all heard, Illenium, Zed's Dead, Adventure Club. But then some of the more obscure, I got really into this dubstep artist that was called Cyber Optics. If you look at some of his earlier stuff, when he was first doing remixes, he was doing some interesting things. Like he did a song, I think, called Pimpin', that was really unique at the time. He did a song called TIE Fighter. Cyber Optics, he had some really cool stuff that kind of got me, further into dubstep. And then when I was in rehab, got really into fitness. But it was the same as my first experience with fitness, where I was getting stronger, I was gaining muscle, I was becoming confident, but there wasn't I was not a bodybuilder at the time. And there was not I didn't have this strict scientific method or all of these goals of what I was going to achieve and all the things that are really necessary in order to really excel in the gym. So I did that for a few years, and I eventually met my wife at a job, got married, had some kids, and we've moved around the country. We moved from California to Texas. We lived in Dallas area for a while. Then we moved. Now we live in Arkansas. So this is, where we'll see if I can get this movement going, here in Arkansas. But I've moved around my entire life. I have traveled all over. I've been to Miami, New York, LA, San Diego, Portland, Salt Lake City, Houston, Galveston. I could just go on and on of how much traveling I've done. So I'm willing to move wherever I need to move to, kind of make this happen. I know for like a nightclub, you generally want to be in a big city, somewhere like Chicago, Miami, Dallas, St. Louis, Memphis. Memphis is not, too far from Arkansas, so that's an option as well. There's Oklahoma City, St. Louis, yes, of course, Texas as well, down south. So about 29 months ago, I got back into fitness. So after I got married and stuff, I stopped going to the gym, I stopped exercising, and Now it's been about 29 months since I've been going to the gym, and I got super into bodybuilding a little over 2 years ago. Really just started consuming as many videos as I could, the golden era bodybuilders, as well as all of like the famous and current YouTube fitness guys. But yeah, anyways, so the reason that's relevant is because for me, fitness plays like a huge role in the music. Why? Because I decided a little over 2 years ago to really just take it to the next level and get as strong as possible, and actually, just become an amateur bodybuilder. Just do it for fun, do it for the health reasons, do it for aesthetic reasons, to look good, to be strong, to be healthy, to be attractive, to be better father, better husband, and just in general, it's worked. It's improved every aspect of my life, and it's working. But when I'm in the gym, I need something to listen to. Like I said, I'm always listening to something. So when I'm at the gym, I'm listening to hardstyle dubstep. I'm listening to just so many badass playlists to just motivate myself. As I'm doing that, I'm always imagining in my head throwing these massive parties where because I'm at the gym throwing a party in my head. So I'm wanting to like share it with other people, and I'm thinking, all of it. I'm thinking about being a DJ or throwing a party and people just going crazy with the music. Because my passion for sharing music with people is just so strong. And so the idea to become a DJ came through my listening to dubstep in the gym. So first, I didn't understand exactly what DJing was, and I was like, maybe I could make some music. So I spent a brief period, and when I say brief, I mean like 2 weeks, seeing like what I could do as far as producing music, and I was starting from scratch. And I was like, man, and then what did it for me is I listened to a dubstep song, and I was like, man, this is like the best dubstep song I've ever freaking heard in my life. If you want to know what it is, it's a song called Summer by Twofold. I think it was made in like 2015. Fucking badass dubstep song. But anyways, I saw that song, like I looked it up somewhere, it didn't have a whole lot of views or something, and the reason I'm doing this is so that I don't have to work a 9-to-5 job. And at 34 years old, producing music is probably one of the dumbest things that you could do to try to make money and quit your day job. So I know that right now, producing music, that's not gonna happen, but DJing, throwing a festival, doing events and parties for people, that is a way that I know that I could make money. And anybody and also, of course, that's the great thing about YouTube is I hope that I can inspire other people to do what they want to do in life and have a good time, be genuine, be who you are, and just love life, that that my subscribers will grow and that I'll have enough views on YouTube that I can eventually make money from YouTube as well. And I want this to be community based. I want the community to be involved, for us to do this together, for us to all work together. And anybody here on YouTube can, of course, I need to get a Patreon and things like that going, but anybody on YouTube can help just by watching my video. The ads can give me revenue that can help me be able to further this goal to start this movement here in Arkansas. But right now, I know that if I just be myself and just work really hard, that eventually that will work out and not focus on money right now. But anyways, guys, I'm running out of time, so I'm gonna need to wrap this up. This is my new vlog series, so we're gonna keep making more. But anyways, I do need 50 subscribers so that I can stream live. Once I'm able to stream live on YouTube, then I can practice my DJs as well as do live sets for everyone. And really, guys, I've got some great. I'm freaking dying to share it with people. I am absolutely dying. I am staying up till 2 o'clock in the morning DJing for 2-3 hours. Please remember to like and subscribe. And I do have some good news. So there is a local farmers market here in Arkansas that does some events. They do festivals and things like that. So on Saturdays, I'm going to start going over there and doing DJ sets during the day. So I hope that what I can do is basically be the catalyst to a movement here in Central Arkansas where up-and-coming EDM artists can showcase their sets and DJ skills and music. It didn't just have to be EDM. I just want local artists that are talented to be able to showcase their music. So, right now it's probably just going to be me alone DJing, Maybe a few people will show up. I hope I can draw some crowds one day, and I'm just going to be the catalyst. You know, I'm an up and coming artist too, and eventually I want other people to be a part of this as well. It's not just about me and the music that I like and playing that for other people, but it's about musicians and music in general and how it makes people feel. And so I really hope that I can build this community of artists and people who love music, particularly electronic music, fitness, and that we can really just help move the culture in a positive direction. All right, anyways, guys, I apologize. I was spitballing. All this stuff was off the top of my head. Like I said, this is unscripted. Anyways, thanks for watching.